In this lesson, we are going to talk about airports and airport procedure. Lots of you have not traveled by plane yet, so this lesson may sound complicated to you. Do not worry. In some time, you will learn all the words you need. Before we start, let's see some interesting facts about airports worldwide. Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world by passenger numbers. It is located in Georgia, near the East Coast, and up north of Florida. It is so popular because about 80% of the entire US population lives within a 2-hour flight of Atlanta Airport. The airport is located just 10 miles from the city center, and it serves a wide range of flights, over 155 domestic and 75 international destinations. In 2019, the busiest airport in Europe was Heathrow Airport in London, followed by Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, Amsterdam Airport Schiphol, and Frankfurt Airport. These airports are called hub airports. London has 6 major airports: London City, London Gatwick, London Heathrow, London Luton, London Stansted, and London Southend. In this photo, you can see how far these airports are from the city center, or how long it takes to get to these airports from the city center. Now, let's focus on the vocabulary connected with airports. So, what do we call the building in the photo? Every airport has at least one such building. Passengers arrive at this building. They go through the airport procedure inside the building, and then on the other side of the building, a plane waits for them. It is called a terminal building. An airport terminal is a building where passengers go to depart on a flight, or the building at which they arrive after landing. Lots of large airports have a few terminal buildings, not just one. Heathrow Airport in London has 4 terminals. With 9 terminals, Los Angeles International Airport is the airport with the most terminals in the world. There are terminals 1 to 8 and a regional terminal. Airports are divided into landside and airside zones. Landside is the part of the airport with unlimited access to general public. It is closest to the parking area and public transport. Landside includes departures concourse, a large area or hall at the airport for passengers who are starting their journey, and arrivals concourse, a large area or hall at the airport for passengers who have just arrived. There is one photo of the landside area of an airport. So, what do you need when you arrive at the terminal building? When you arrive at the airport, the first thing you need is trolley for your luggage. Then, after you have found it, where do you go? You go to a place that is called a check-in desk. A check-in desk is a place where passengers show their tickets and passports and get a boarding pass. So, it is a place where you show your identification and your ticket, and you get a boarding card, which is a card with a detailed information about how to get to your plane and which seat to take. You see that you can call a check-in desk a check-in counter too. In the photo, you can see that a particular airline company has their check-in desks, so people who fly with them check in there. In the photo, the company is British Airways. So, at the check-in desk, you get a boarding card or a boarding pass. A boarding card or a boarding pass is a card with the information about the gate and seat number. When you buy a plane ticket, you know the time of your departure, but you do not know all the details. So the boarding card gives you more precise information. A very important piece of information on the boarding card is your gate number. So, what is the gate? A gate is an exit to the plane. It can be a tunnel or a bridge leading to the aircraft, or just an exit, like a door. Gates are labeled by numbers. Your gate number is on your boarding card. Now, what happens with your luggage? A small suitcase or rucksack, which can be brought inside the plane with you, is called hand luggage, carry-on luggage, or cabin luggage. However, we all know that bigger suitcases will not travel with you, but will be sent to the plane with other large and heavy bags. Bigger suitcases must be weighed at the check-in desk, put on a conveyor belt, and sent to the special cargo part of the plane called a hold. These big bags and suitcases are called hold luggage or checked luggage. What happens if your checked luggage is too heavy or too big? In this case, it is called excess luggage. If your luggage is heavier than allowed, you pay a fee for excess luggage. After your luggage is put on the scales and weighed, a printed luggage tag is attached to it. The most important information on the luggage tag is the origin and the destination airports, which are three-letter codes in capital letters, also known as IATA number. In the photo, you can see one example of a luggage tag and IATA number. FRA, and we will see what it means. Here are some examples of IATA codes that you should be familiar with. The first one is IATA code for Belgrade Nikola Tesla Airport. It is BEG. Also, there are other IATA codes for London City airports, London Heathrow Airport, London Gatwick Airport, or Frankfurt Airport. Today, passengers can check in online. Most airlines permit online check-in up to 24 hours before departure. After they check in online, passengers can print their boarding pass at home, in a hotel, or at the airport. A boarding pass can be saved on your phone in the form of a barcode as well. Passengers can also use check-in machines or check-in kiosks at the airport instead of a check-in desk. However, if passengers have large suitcases, they have to go to the check-in desk to check in this luggage, even if they had previously checked in online. So, let's sum up the check-in procedure. At the check-in desk, passengers show their ticket and passport, and they are given a boarding card. They can usually express their preferences as to the seating arrangement. Their luggage is weighed, and the whole luggage is sent to the airplane via conveyor belt. If passengers check in online, they can skip the check-in desk, but if they have large suitcases, usually they need to check this luggage in at the check-in counter. So, where do passengers go after they check in? Passengers now go to the airside part of the terminal. In order to get there, they need to pass passport control, which you can see in the photo, and security check. At the outbound passport control, passengers present their passports and boarding pass to police officers, who check their passports and stamp them. What happens at the security check? At the security check, all passengers must pass through a metal detector gate. Also, passengers are expected to show their boarding pass to the security officer and place their carry-on luggage on the X-ray scanner conveyor belt, which you can see in the photo. If they have metal objects or mobile phones or keys, they should place them separately in a tray. All liquids over 100 milliliters, except baby milk or prescribed medicines, must be thrown away before the security check. Also, all sharp objects in the carry-on luggage need to be disposed of before security check. Should you go to the customs counter before you depart? If passengers are carrying cash in excess of 10,000 euros, they should go to the customs counter and complete the relevant procedures. So, after all these procedures are over, where do passengers go? Now, passengers come to a big hall where they can relax before their flight or where they can have something to eat or drink. This hall is called a departure lounge. A departure lounge is a large hall where people wait to board their planes. There, passengers can go to a duty-free shop or pharmacy, use mobile phone charging stations, or exchange money into a foreign currency. At large airports, people can even go to a chapel to pray before the flight. Also, parents can find a play area for kids. At the airport, it is important to be on time. Passengers should be at their gate at least 20 minutes before the flight time. If there are any changes, these will be announced on flight information displays or departure boards. When the boarding of the flight begins, passengers pass through a boarding gate. Their boarding passes are checked again by ground staff. So, what do we call the act of getting on the plane? We call it boarding. Boarding is getting on the plane via stairs or a special bridge. So, who do you meet first when you board a plane, and how do you find your seat? A flight attendant welcomes passengers on board and helps them find their seats. Usually, there are 3 types of seats. An aisle seat is the seat next to the passage. A window seat is next to the window, and in between there is a middle seat. What are the parts of your flight? First, it is a takeoff. When the plane takes off and reaches a certain altitude, turbulence may occur. It is important to fasten your seatbelt during turbulence. After the flight, a plane lands at the destination airport and passengers get off the plane. So, where do passengers go when they arrive at the destination airport? After the arrival in the destination, all passengers are expected to go through immigration control, where they present their passports and visas. Then, passengers follow the sign for baggage reclaim or baggage hall. There, they find their flight on the information screens, which shows which carousel their bags will arrive on. After they pick up their luggage, passengers go through the customs. If passengers have something to declare, they go through the red channel. If they have nothing to declare, they go through the green channel. When all the procedures are completed, passengers come to the landside again, and they arrive into an arrivals concourse or hall. Passengers can also relax in the arrivals lounge, where they can go to a cafe, a restaurant, go shopping, exchange their money, or visit a tourist information office. Also, that is where they can have a drink with family and friends who came to welcome them. Because of the pandemic, passengers at the airport are required to wear a face mask and maintain distance from each other. Also, thermal cameras are used to monitor the body temperature of arriving passengers. The pandemic caused the adoption of countless new technologies and protocols to keep people healthy and safe. Many of these changes will last, irrespective of COVID-19. Those technologies and protocols include sanitizing robots, restrooms that alert staff when cleaning is needed, contactless check-in, bag check, and credential authentication, and the increased ability to order and pay for food or duty-free items from a mobile device and receive a contactless delivery anywhere inside the airport.